Hello, hello. I am so excited. I don't think I've been more excited for a relay match so far. Um, these are two of my favorite teams in relay. Like we've got Serious Dedication, Ready Van Bosker and Blazer, such an amazing group of runners. The OG, they ran in Relay 1 together, they're running together again, and I love watching them play together. They play together so well. Um and and then we've got Team The Juice with Schmalix, Bendo, and Alex, and we've got two Alexes, and they're also a fantastic team, a fantastic group of runners. So I am very excited. I know. I was like so excited about this match, but I'm also so sad because not only is do we have to, have a winner come out of the end of this match, um, but we also um, have to watch one of them go because we're in losers bracket here, and yeah, that's really sad. Yeah, no, it's nice. It's nice to have that little bit of overlap and not have to spend that time digging down to get tools and stuff if you can just hit the temple right away. Ooh. Oh. No, it's my Discord. Eh, oh no. It's just not in OBS. Hold on. What? Let me do this. Sorry guys. I will get you real in just a moment. I don't know what's going on. It's still not the heck. They still can't hear you. I don't know why my Discord isn't picking. My thing isn't. I'm so sorry, guys. Anyways, so I'm just solo commentating for a moment. Um, okay, can you try talking now, Rila? What? Okay, I'm gonna relaunch my Discord. I don't know what's going on. Wait. Huh? I'm so sorry about this, everyone. Um, yeah, Rilla's gonna no mic commentate for a moment. Okay. What what the heck? I don't know what's going on. Okay, try talking now.
Hello.
Yay!
Yeah.
Let's go.
Have I been given a voice?
Yes, you've been given a voice.
Oh my
I
god.
don't know what the heck happened. My OBS just decided, no, I don't want to pick up Discord. Um, while all of this was going on, that the beginning of this match is going to sound horrible because it's just me talking to myself. Um,
It's okay. We both know the truth.
the truth, yeah, that's true. It's
Yeah,
oh,
about
who,
all the stuff that I've said.
yeah, all the smack you've been talking about these
Oh
runners.
yeah, I've been actually talking mad smack. No, no, no. If you would restart your Discord stream, but other
Oh
than
yeah,
that, we're
sorry.
good.
There you go.
No, you're fine. Okay. So yeah, I mean, we didn't really miss much at the start here. Really classic Dark Oak Temple Seed, classic relay, um, and Alex in the Nether. Heard you talking match.
So you can't commentate. And yeah, we see Schmalix taking the first Nether entry here, quite a bit ahead of Ready Band actually. Just a little bit faster on that overworld. Although I'm not 100% sure if maybe Ready's entering Nether with a few more things done from that overworld. But either way, Ready is taking an enter here, and Schmalix has only gotten one rod so far.
Yeah. So we did see, as you said, that Alex entered, notably ahead. He's been in here for a couple of minutes, maybe a minute. But I mean, the rates can't be too tremendously great if he's only sitting at one rod right now. Um, I do think that it's too early to call. Oh, this one player is particularly ahead since unlike 116, this version is pace locked by day cycles.
Mm-hmm.
It's also unlike 115 in that way. I think 115 has a little bit more leniency.
That's true. That's very true.
I mean, I guess I say that not because 115 you can trade whenever, but just because 115 it's more meta to be able to trade day one or day two, so you have more options.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely you can see like this version, as long as there's no like huge things that go wrong, we usually see runners on very similar pace throughout the run just because of that pace locking. If you get a little bit ahead, in the first part of your run, it doesn't really matter if you still have to wait for day two trading. Alex is playing a little bit risky here, though, getting very low. Does have a gap though, so that's really nice. But yeah, we're seeing two different styles here. Ready Band choosing to craft a shield, Schmalix choosing to go without. Some players absolutely swear by shield, some players don't. I think it's often just kind of comes down to what you're more comfortable doing and what you've practiced more.
I agree with that. I don't. Some players, I think we've gotten better as a whole about it. Some players used to be very, very adamantly anti-shield or pro-shield. Um, but I think that whatever you do should be what you are comfortable with. I don't think I think that shields are good because I practice with them, but I don't enjoy seeing players who don't practice with shields using a shield because they often are held back by it.
Yeah, yeah, that's a totally. I was just thinking about that. I remember we had a match where, yeah, somebody was a little bit more nervous, and because it was a tournament match, they were like, okay, I'm going to play safe. I'm going to play it with a shield. But when you're not used to having a shield, then like it kind of makes your run almost worse.
Yeah. I mean, I feel the same way about swords. Already is sitting at some very, very low health here, not eating the apple. Oh wait, no, I was wrong. That's not health. That's an XP bar. It's a rainbow. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm fascinated. I thought that the red was the hearts because
Oh, cause yeah, yeah, cause you're so used to seeing red hearts.
yeah, okay.
No.
Sorry, Reddy. You're doing fantastic. I love the rainbow XP.
No, actually, I like Reddy's little data pack, the blue hearts too. It's cute. It matches,
Yeah.
got the matching hearts, timer, and skin.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that HP really regenerated quickly. I was like, wow.
We are seeing another a leave here from Schmalix. At what is this, 9 minutes? So, really pushing up right against that pace lock barrier, which is really nice.
Yeah. Um, I think with Dark Oak, it's nice to be out earlier. With Savannah Villages, I think you can get away with getting really close to sleep leave because your wood source and the villages that you have to trade with, there's no distance because it's the same place. Dark Oak, there's often a little bit of travel, even if it's only like 50, 100 blocks, it's still some travel, especially if you go deeper into the Dark Oak to find your ideal spots.
Yeah, definitely. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, this seed, it's nice proximity, but the lava pool is a decent ways away. So being able to leave a little bit earlier is really nice. Although I just realized Reddy
Right.
and
Oh, wow.
Schmalix built portals in two different lava pools. Schmalix went quite a ways away. So with that slightly faster nether split from Reddy Man and then the closer portal, they're actually on identical pace now.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm assuming that Reddy's been to what the seed finders thought was the intended lava pool. You know, often when there's more than one lava pool, the use of a different one is pretty inconsequential. We've seen a couple of instances, where it spawns you in unfortunate terrain, but no issues. But like you said, it does actually really balance them out well here. So they've both been able to sleep at similar times, and we'll probably see them start trading at similar times as well.
hmm Yeah, we do see. I think we can see obviously Reddy having that closer lava pool and intended lava pool, way closer to the Dark Oak, and also closer to that fortress as well. We saw Schmalix had to travel a little bit more through the Nether, but luckily, open terrain, so it wasn't a big deal. Um, yeah.
So this Dark Oak looks pretty good. The terrain is relatively flat. The tree placements are pretty good. We've also seen some pretty unfortunate Dark Oaks in this tournament. Stuff on the side of hills, really hard to get good placements. But this one looks really friendly.
hmm No, this is a lovely seed so far.
Yeah, and the desert village. So I'm assuming no brewing stand. It looks like Reddy has 8 in the
Yeah,
inventory.
and I did see Schmalix craft a brewing stand in the Nether, so no brewing stand in
Yeah,
this village.
which is not surprising. It's pretty rare to see the brewing stand houses in desert villages. But
Yeah.
um, looks like, yeah, that was a really good placement from Alex right there. I love these like really perfect three tree formations are super satisfying because you know that you're gonna get like a stack off of it. It's awesome. Um, but I think them both having slept already, it's not always the most efficient to go for perfect placements every time. So I kind of like seeing like them balance it out because Alex also did a couple of what would be considered suboptimal placements.
hmm I was going to ask too, are you the type of player in this version that you go do all of your explosions and then worry about picking everything up afterwards, or do you more tend to pick things up as you go?
Um, Something like this comes down to, to knowing yourself. I am both in game and in real life what I like to joke as being directionally challenged. I am terrible with directions and terrible with being oriented. It it is a struggle for me. So I know that what is most efficient for me is to get as many good placements like in a straight line as I can and then pick them up once it starts like to fizzle out, because you kind of see like the tree placements aren't going to get good, or like there's a hill in the way. Um, so also because I play at a laptop, having too many items on the floor causes me lag.
Oh yeah,
So,
I thought about that.
so personally, I'm kind of like half and half. I'll like blow up maybe 4 or 5, and then um I'll I'll like pick them up, and then I'll do my second half. Or at least that would be my ideal world. Sometimes you're kind of in a situation where you need to blow up and then pick up in the same go.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm always curious what people, because yeah, some I feel like, yeah, when you it's if you have a hard time keeping track of where you were, then
Yeah, well, some people are really great at remembering exactly where they've been, and they have a really great sense of orientation. Um, that's not me.
that's fair. That's fair. It's hard. Directions are difficult.
Yeah.
We're seeing
Now,
both runners getting started on trades here. Um, Schmalik's only doing one Fletcher. Um, oh, actually, both runners. Oh no, and Reddy has two, so a little bit of a time save there for Reddy. Um, and we see he's already getting his first pearl trade.
mhm. So earlier we saw Alex, and I was going to say something about this, but he fixed the problem. Was that Alex had tried to do the boat, the I don't even know what to call strat, where
Like
you
with
you
the
place
Fletcher in the boat.
you put yeah you place your villagers in the boat. But what Alex had done was put the boat off to the side, so it wasn't actually on top of the workstations, meaning the villagers couldn't reach their workstations, and they had to break the boat. So I think I don't know if it works like when the villagers are directly like one block next to the workstation, but I know that in every application that I've seen that strat being used, the villagers were on a boat on top. So if if Alex is ever going to try that again, I think making sure that the boat is actually in the correct spot to be used, something to maybe play around with.
Hmm. Well, and I do think if it's right next to it, it still works, but it's most efficient when it's right on top of the fletching table.
Yeah.
You get the fastest trades, and unfortunately, we are kind of seeing how this is causing some delay in Schmalix's run. It's not huge, but a little bit of a time loss, just not only having that single Fletcher, but also not having it in a boat, taking a little bit longer to restock. We did see that they had to, um, spend some time waiting for a restock and was going to get some beds from houses. And
Mhm.
we're kind of seeing that time difference here too, with Ready Ben already taking that village leave.
So yeah, as you said, and as Malin is saying in the chat, is that they can reach up to a block. It's just the top is convenient. So that checks out. That makes sense. Villagers are finicky, and their AI is honestly incredibly troublesome. But Alex is headed back to the
Oh
forest with a gold axe.
no,
So I'm
that's really
wondering what happened
unfortunate.
here.
I'm not sure. I wasn't really paying attention, and I'm also not. I I like know how trading works, but not the exact like counting of everything. So I don't know if Schmalix maybe messed up a trade or just didn't have enough wood to begin with.
Okay, so someone's saying that they didn't trade the gold. So oh, no, actually, that's a leave. So maybe they were just grabbing extra wood for blocks for boat, maybe. No problem then. Because I don't think they're go. Oh wait, no, that's ready ban. I'm actually blind. Okay. I really know what's going on. Okay.
It's
You're
okay.
probably
It's
like, what is
okay.
she talking about?
I
No.
was like,
Okay,
oh,
okay. No, no. Sorry. So I was saying, uh, Philippe said that Alex didn't trade the gold. The gold is pretty valuable for trading. I think the equivalent of gold is like 2 pieces of gold is like 16 logs or something.
wait, does Schmalix have a stack of buttons? Did Schmalix
Schmelix,
miss
you
craft?
didn't. Schmelix, you didn't. Tell me.
Yeah,
Okay, so
that's a stack of buttons.
oh,
Oh no.
okay.
Okay, so
I
that's
love
why
114.
yeah, that's why that she decided to go back and get more
Okay.
logs. Um
Miscrafting is pretty common, I think, in tournaments. The nerves get to you. The buttons one, not super common, gotta say. But the wood, crafting logs into wood is pretty common.
mhm. Um
I've definitely been guilty of that myself, but the buttons, I don't know if I've seen that before. Maybe done 16 buttons.
But, despite that little mistake, Schmalix is getting to leave here, stopping at this shipwreck, which was very nice playing, getting so much iron. So we'll be able to do double bucket, which is always nice when you don't have to deal with waterlogged slabs.
And looks like Reddy's done a zoom in, so I'm guessing that that must be calculator coming
Hmm.
in.
Yeah, I think
It's
both runners
transparent.
are using calculator here.
Yep. Yeah, I think I can see it behind the F3 on the right, but I can't read it.
Oh yeah, it's very transparent.
Yeah. Luckily, the terrain doesn't look too unfriendly. There's some ocean. The savannah isn't super mountainous.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely a very nice travel. Um, does Schmalix only have 12 pearls?
um, that's what it seems like, which wouldn't surprise me. You can see the angry mouse shake because that one does break, as we see there. Um, yeah, I that doesn't surprise me, considering that we did have to see Alex cut extra wood, getting extra pearls, probably not on the list of priorities, which also means that we probably won't see bow and arrow.
No, yeah, I don't think Schmalix has bow. Um, I didn't see if Ready Ben has one. I'm pretty sure that he generally plays with bow, so I would assume that he grabbed one, but I'm not 100% on that. Um, but yeah, this really sucks for Schmalix to be leaving on 12, really hoping that they don't get rolled by that choice. Well, I mean, I guess it wasn't really much as a choice, but
Yeah, I guess the that play, the unfortunate mistake with the buttons. Um, yeah, I think back to Ready having arrows. I think in general, as a tournament player, Ready Ben tends to be pretty calculated with how he plays it, and I think Ready Ben sort of plays tournaments in a more safe way,
mhm.
which I honestly for consistency is fantastic, which is what you want in a tournament. Um, a lot of people we see try to go for the fastest strat and maybe that backfires, which is not to say that that's what happened to Alex here, but just as a general trend.
Yeah, and I think that yeah, in general, we've kind of been seeing with Relay, especially in early matches, the goal is not to have an insanely fast split. The goal is to not die. And that's kind of been what we see where just playing it a little bit safer, but playing it well, um, tends to reward players. But it'll be interesting to see as we get more into the match, especially when we start getting closer to finals and into upper bracket, if playing it a little bit riskier but a little bit faster might start to be a little bit more rewarding as we kind of get to the best of the best. And we do see Ready hitting Portal Room here.
And meanwhile, Alex is killing these Endermen trying to get an extra pearl. Doesn't look like he got one out of the two. It was a grass block. And is that a zero eye?
Oh no. That is
Okay,
not
so
what we want to see.
hopefully this Enderman drops a pearl because Alex is gonna need it. Loses the axe. That's unfortunate timing, but plenty of iron to make up for it. And also keep in mind that not only is it a zero eye, so Alex needs one eye, it's also a completely open island spawn. So Alex, if Alex is able to enter with zero extra pearls, then they'll also have to bridge over to the island. That's what it looked like there. And we, of course, see Ready Band pulling out the bow and arrow here, bowing from the ground. Probably going to go for all of the towers, because doesn't look like he's just shooting from one side. Um, yeah, even going for the caged. So that is pretty thorough end fight from Ready. No room for error, even if one cycle's failed. There's plenty of room for it, and it looks like it's setting up for waterlogged.
Yeah.
Yeah, waterlogged stare. I like the stare. I think that, like, when you're one cycling in a tournament, you can get nervous and maybe miss the placement on the slab. I like the stare because you get the full back,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
true.
picky, but if you had the choice, I'd go for a stare.
And it is also kind of nice that you get, or I mean, sorry, that's not what I was trying to say. The scary thing about the stare is often people tend to go for stare, and grab it like from the stronghold or something. So it's kind of scary to like have to be thinking about it in that moment. And we do see a perch here for Ready. Um,
Back perch, not a side to side. Um, and not perfect beds, but
yeah,
pretty low health. So you can actually, I think, melee the dragon for 1/4's worth of its health each time it perches.
but we are
So
still seeing a completion
yeah.
here.
So
Um,
that there was plenty of leeway there for Ready to get that completion, and he does. There's a pretty clean 114 run, 26 minutes, and now we are going to switch here to Bosker playing 116. Meanwhile, Alex has entered the portal room and looks like they have 12 eyes, so no worries. Getting the double bucket, making sure to grab the lava, that's good. I would have forgotten. Yeah, and now having to bridge. Now, in the desperate hopes of not commentators cursing anything, I just wanted to ask, like, maybe for the more pre-19 inclined people, do you ever get concerned about like having open spawns like that? Because I think it's common for the dragon to like insta charge you upon
yes,
end entry, right?
it's
So what happens
definitely
when you have like a island spawn?
yeah, no,
You
it's definitely scary. There's I think it's 1 in 8 chance of that happening. You can sometimes kind of block it or whatever, but it's terrifying. And we've seen it kill runs before in tournament settings and in PB pace and that kind of thing. But
Mhm.
it's not a good time.
Yeah. So I'm not a very powerful pre-19 player by any means, but I have done some runs casually, and I think every time that I load into the end, my number one priority is like making the wall behind me just out of sheer fear. And that was a really quick perch from Alex and gets that really easily with the obby. So not particularly far behind. We'll see Ben enter the 116 seed here. Um, yeah, maybe 2 minutes difference between them.
Yeah, that was that end fight. I feel like like what happened. It was very quick and clean end fight from Schmalix, and made up
Yeah.
actually a quite a big chunk of time with that quick end fight.
Yeah, I would say they were probably 5 minutes or so behind before that end fight, which that that perch coming down really quickly and having the obsidian to get really short one cycle. Well done. Yeah, and so we see the bastion here on Bosker's End. I'm awful at telling what bastions are what. I mean, I
This is
truly
stables.
awful. This is stables. Okay.
Yes.
Are you okay? You're right. I needed some kind of significant marker. No idea what's going on. Yeah, embarrassingly bad at 116 for how popular it is, how representative it is of Java speedrunning. It's all the pigs. Okay, so Bossers is setting up now that there's pigs and got all that gold. Ben is getting the gravel, getting ready for an enter. Seems pretty good. I mean, it's just a standard 116 matchup. Both of these runners are, I think, both respectively really good at their versions. I don't think that either of them are necessarily, like the forefront of 116, but if you watch them both run, it's um sorry, I got sidetracked. If you watch them both run, they're both really good at their versions. So I'm interested to see their matchups and see maybe how that translates out to their difference in time. We've talked before in relay about how in general 1.7, 1.8 tends to be the true definer of a match. So, but honestly, we saw today in the earlier match that the versions that lead up to it are also important. You don't want to fall further behind just because obviously it becomes more difficult to make up that time in 1.7. As Fulham says in the chat, average seed. Boss your change is difficulty back to easy. Hopefully, since these are world files, we try to make sure that the versions are on easy, but among a large checklist of things that need to be done for world files, sometimes it can go forgotten.
Well, I think it was,
Which,
yeah,
yeah.
and or changing back off of hard from trying to aggro piglins probably was the bigger
Mm.
issue there. Um,
Oh, okay. I
yeah.
got you.
Well,
Hopefully, because
hopefully he
seen that before
did. No,
too.
no, not wanting to make this run harder for himself than it needs to be.
Hmm.
And yeah, we're seeing Bosker entering this fortress here, getting a nice enclosed spawner. No Blizzbed though, very sad. Um, and yeah, Bendo's definitely making up pace, playing this very clean, very nice stable routing from Bendo.
Yeah, absolutely. Close spawner is really nice. Um, Ben's able to get this bastion routed through.
The unfortunate thing about this seed is I think there's no triple um, chest, so gonna be a little bit lower on obby. I don't know if we're gonna see 20 obby from these runners. Um, I'm I think Bendo only has 9, right? Am I looking at the right thing there?
Flocks, and I can't quite tell. Um, Now, uh,
Oh, my pronouns are they, them, realize are she, her.
yes, that's correct. Um, I do think that their spawn was close enough to these structures that they don't. Yeah, it's an intersecting fortress and bastion. I think their home portal is somewhere nearby, so if they only get the 10, they could force a home portal and still get their calculated
Yeah.
out.
I do think that that'll probably be the best play. I really like how um Bendo didn't even nav the fortress, was able to hear the blaze spawner from the bastion and just dug into it from the side. That's actually really funny. I didn't even notice that was a possibility. Um, the unfortunate thing is that the terrain isn't the best for like throwing, being able to kind of one pearl back to your home portal. Um, but it should still be pretty doable. And it's probably still going to be a lot faster.
Yeah. I mean, if you are, locked in to, oh, see the portal's right there. I don't
Oh,
see any
okay.
reason not to do a calculated from the home portal. Uh, yeah, it is a magma ravine enter, so it is inconvenient, but it is faster just, I think, to bite the bullet and go for it than to risk it all on a straight up blind that might not work out.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that it's just so much more consistent to do calculated, even if it's from a home portal. You know, you do lose quite a bit of time, especially we're actually seeing Reddy choosing to boat back to land to grab some wood and throw his eyes, which I
Yeah.
think, I totally understand that decision. You just are get way better eye measurements, and especially if he was short wood there. Um, that's a good good play to check that.
Yeah, the biomes in the nether were anything but the wood ones. So you got the soul sand, the looked like there was maybe basalt, and the waste there was no crimson, no warped. So getting the wood, playing safer in that manner, I think is a good play from Bosker.
Also taking the hunger reset here. Pretty low food on this seed. Um, so not a bad play. Get all of these things dealt with. So that once he enters stronghold, hopefully gets that stronghold blind. Is just ready to jump into the end.
And speaking of low food, you can see this piglet on a chicken being referenced by chat there, which is technically free food, but why would you take away that Tommy's sweet ride?
I mean, yeah, I I love I love when things ride chickens. Chicken jockeys are
I
so
love
funny,
the chicken jockeys.
dude.
I'm
It's so
such a
good.
fan.
Also, why is there a chicken in Bendo's Nether? That's my first question, actually.
I, sometimes you just get the straight chicken jockey. Nothing but respect. And this terrain is not super friendly.
No, this is not ideal having a basalt right next to a lava lake. Um, but very like clean movement from Bosker. I was watching that and I was like, that was beautiful.
Yeah. Well played by Bosker to navigate that really annoying basalt. I've got to assume that there's maybe low to no fire res if we're just gonna slow bridge over.
Yeah, yeah, I'm guessing. Well, oh yeah, I he is out of fire res here because he took a hunger reset, and I don't think
Right.
he reapplied the fire res or didn't have any more. So, um, yeah, we're seeing Bendo. Choosing not to go to the overworld is just going to be doing, towering up with some soul sand to throw his eyes, and get his calculation.
And blind out from Bosker. We'll see where we end up. Hopefully, a nice I spy, and we get it.
Nice.
Excellent.
I spy right. I believe that was starter, right?
Um, probably doors set there. Oh, and it doesn't even matter because there's the portal room.
That was
And
some
another hero
clean
eye.
nav.
Hit the nab. So, really well done. That was flawless stronghold navigation. And looks like Ben is also going to be going for a hunger reset here. And now we'll see how Boskar's dragon does. Um, so after that reset, Ben's gonna probably be going down here and re-entering the end, takes a fish out on the way. One for the road. And Boskar's actually got um a crossbow picked up from the Bastion, I've got to assume. So good to see the whole team plays to bow and arrow. I'm not like a hyper bow and arrow advocate, but I do think that not seeing it in a tournament that you know as common knowledge doesn't force purge is like when you can help it, not really your optimal play.
Yeah, I'm very much a bow enjoyer, bow advocate when it comes to tournaments. We do see Bosker hitting the perch here, but yeah, when it comes to tournaments, like it's just grab a bow. It's so easy, especially in 116. And then if you make any mistakes, don't hit the perch or anything like that. Um, you're just so much safer, and it's so easy to do in 116. I just don't
Mhm.
see why you wouldn't. We are going to see Blazer getting started on this one pre-1-9 seed, starting out with a temple. Very nice to have a temple in this version. And
Yeah.
yeah, well, Bendo's on his way to the stronghold or second portal. Well, same
Yeah.
thing.
And Ben actually does have the fire res here, so maybe able to make up some time that way. And opting to speed bridge, falling off a little bit, but no problems. Yeah, so we have seen as for variety of seeds in this version, some seeds for pre-1-9 have required caving, as is pretty common for RSG. But uh, for the vast majority of them, they've been temple seeds. It is really nice, like you said, to get the temple because you have suddenly significantly less work to do. You don't have to go out of your way to find sheep, so you don't have to worry about sheep spawns, and you get extra TNT if people choose to use TNT for blocks in the nether, maybe for their tower.
Mm-hmm.
You get iron, get gold for tools. There's just a lot less work when you happen to have the temple, so it's nice to see that coming out here.
Yeah, and we do see too on the seed a ton of gold in this temple, which is very, very nice. You can save a lot of time having a gold pick and being able to do. It looks like based on the amount of gold on here, they're going to be able to do not only gold pick dig down for the tower, but also gold pick dig down for stronghold, which is a huge time save. You spend a lot of time digging in this version. You probably spend the most time digging down than all the other versions. So huge to have that much gold, and not having to spend time smelting and stuff is very nice. I would love to see one of these runners do TNT jump exit from tower. That would make me so happy. We'll see if it happens, but I want to see it. It would be so fun.
Yeah, I stuff like that is so cool to see, but I can't lie, seeing runners setting up for that, I definitely like feel my hands go cold
That's fair. That's fair.
with nerves. It's like I see a runner at the bottom of their tower like placing TNT. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, it can
You
go
don't have
very
faith,
wrong,
but
definitely. But if you practice it, it usually goes cleanly. Like it's one of those things that it's not too hard if you practice it enough.
and Ben is here in the stronghold now finds the library. So not quite hitting the perfect nav in the same way that Bosker did, unfortunately. But, you know, still plenty of opportunity for them to catch up. They're not ridiculously behind. And I think that, you know, we're not at a point where it feels like a hopeless like point of no return for them. So
Especially having pre-19 last, being the longest version, being also the version that has the highest chance of things going wrong, I would say. It's kind of the least forgiving. It, there's plenty of time for Alex to catch up.
um yeah, so getting lots of string from this library, maybe low on string from the Bastion.
Yeah, I guess that the string trades weren't great on this seed. I don't know. I mean, we saw that Bosker didn't really have any issues with it. So
Mm,
I'm not really sure what happened here to Ben, or maybe he's wanting to play extra safe and get some extra beds, go for like 5 or 6 beds instead of 4.
yeah, that's always possible. We also saw Ben grabbing glowstone in the fortress, presumably for anchors. So maybe was going to plan on doing anchors and now sees the opportunity to get beds instead. I yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
mean I can
Fulham said
playing safe.
that Bosker used 3 bed 1 anchor. So, yeah, that was all it was. Is that low string trades, and Ben's just playing a little bit safer, getting those extra beds instead of going for an anchor.
Okay. Respectable play. We'll see how that works out for him. So speaking of beds, we also saw there's a sheep in the nether.
Wait, what? I didn't even see that. That's
The
hilarious.
brown sheep that went through the portal with Blazer. We saw Blazer crafting their beds all like pre-crafted pretty early. I don't know how other people feel about it, but I think in terms of inventory management, it makes me a little bit nervous
Yeah,
because you know the beds don't stack, so it takes up a lot of individual room.
I mean, it's usually not too bad for this version inventory management. Um, I It's kind of surprising to see Blazer crafting beds there. We usually tend to see runners try and overlap that crafting time with things like waiting for blaze spawns, waiting to start your tower if you get an early tower finish,
Mhm.
whatever it is. But micro time loss, if that is a time loss at all.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of time loss, I don't really think it's an issue, but like it looks like you can't even pick up this gravel on the floor. So this is the kind of thing that I think
Hmm.
take concern with is that like your inventory is suddenly filled with blocks and you're maybe 5 6 minutes into the run.
Yeah, and especially when you have a temple start. When you have just a cave start, inventory management isn't too bad. But when you get all that extra stuff from temple, it's really easy to start to have issues with your inventory.
Mhm. Handling these blazes really well though,
Hmm.
doing really well, not taking any hefty hits yet. And Ben is still waiting on a purge here. Hopefully we get one soon. I'd hate to see him get really rolled.
And that's kind of where, like I was saying, getting a bow is just um, so much more consistent and faster in this version. Um, when you have a tournament that doesn't have force purchase, even when you do have a tournament with force purchase, depending on the length of time for that force purge, it's sometimes still faster and better to get a bow.
Yeah. Let's see, there's the sheep. Oh, the sheep
The
went
ship
back
went
with him
back.
too.
Oh my god, it's got a friend. And
And with the perch.
yeah.
Okay. Looks like the beds are pretty good. Not the best, but definitely a good thing that he played it safe. And now we'll see Alex's run coming out here. Here we go. Yeah. So they're now sitting at what looks like maybe 7 minutes behind. So they did lose some time on that 116 run.
Yeah, with that perch, taking quite a bit longer than Bosco's perch. Bendo unfortunately lost a little bit of time. We're seeing Blazer out of the nether here. Those were some nice rates on that seed. I know it's very. Alex is playing on 1-8, which we have not seen that many runners play 1-8 in this tournament. Almost all of our runners are on 1-7. But because we use world files, you end up with still getting temple wool, despite being on 1-8, and it just looks very silly to have temple wool in 1-8. It's not supposed to be there.
Yeah, we do for consistency. At the beginning of this tournament, it was exclusively world files for pre 1-9, and I think that this was a part of that. Was just because it was so that players could play either 1-7 or 1-8 because there is not that much of a difference between them, unlike, the strategic differences between 1-15 and 1-14.
Mm-hmm.
So the temple wool is a bit silly, but glad that she has it at least. And Blazer is starting their tower now. So
Yeah, we're seeing Blazer getting started on this tower. I think I'm trying to read what that IGT is. I can't quite see. Oh, it's
maybe
9:30 IGT for Blazer on this tower split. So we're gonna actually see a lot of extra time here for him at the end of this tower build. So we'll probably see some gravel grinding or that kind of thing at the top of their tower, and that's kind of like I mentioned. This is would be the time you would want to be crafting your beds and arrows for the end.
yeah. Yeah, so looks like you said, that Blazer's gonna have a couple extra minutes here and able to make more gold picks, so really comfortable.
Yeah, you are not short on gold at all in this seed. Um, these gold picks are very, very nice. Taking their sleep here and starting a dig down with that gold pick, making it very quick. Meanwhile, we've got Alex still in the overworld, gathering her stuff from her leaves, her food, and getting ready to enter
A
the nether.
mighty cave.
And we'll see the one nice perk of 1-8 is that you do get lamb chops from sheep. So a little bit of extra food for Alex. Because I think, yeah. Oh, actually, there was some pigs too. So
The main source of food that we saw Blazer utilizing was chickens.
we do see actually Blazer does not or didn't place water. I think that generally they do place water at the bottom of their tower. They don't go for spawn protection. So I don't know if they just kind of missed it, or maybe she's decided to change up her playstyle.
Could be that, maybe she just forgot to bring the water and is having to adapt.
Oh, I don't think Blazer set up item elevator. Oh, it wasn't letting him place water. Ooh, okay. This version is definitely not short on bugs. That's for sure.
As we are all well and familiar, Minecraft is a flawless game without any bugs.
Never seen a bug in this game before. We do see Alex taking taking her nether entry here, and getting things ready. Not really sure why they're crafting their beds there, but leaving the crafting table. What is going? Okay, Anyways, heading over to the fortress to get started. I wonder if she wanted to pre-craft to try and do blaze bed.
Maybe.
Yeah,
That could have been it.
that's what's going on.
You
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what?
yeah. Blaze
Hmm.
bed. Let's go.
Okay.
Oh no, no, just mining the spawner. Never mind. Okay. We see Blazer checking pearls there. I did not catch how many that was at all. If someone did,
Mm.
let me know. But I think it's still single digits.
Looks like Alex is having inventory issues. Can't pick up the place routes, maybe? Or maybe not. Maybe that was lag. But yeah, the skill of being able to catch the one frame with the pearls is honestly beyond me. The best I can do is stare really hard and think to myself, that looked like it was maybe a big number.
I've gotten pretty good at it actually. Like at first when I first started watching people play Pre-19 and stuff, I was just like, how do you even see that number? But I've started to get used to it a little bit more. But I do have to be like watching them as they fall. I was kind of watching Alex's run, so I missed it.
It's where you kind of just like background process it and you're like staring really hard, and then it's like after the fact you're like, that's the number it was.
Hmm.
Even though you didn't like see the number. I have no idea.
I don't know. I guess I've just gotten used to it. I'm not sure.
Definitely an acquired skill. It's not very intuitive.
Did get zero frame though, so didn't get that number, fortunately. Oh, it was 12. Oh, maybe I thought it was a zero frame, but maybe I'm just blind. Struggling. Um,
I didn't even see items enter the inventory on that. I don't know if I just blinked or like.
the other thing that you get more comfortable with too, like especially runners, they kind of you start to know exactly where. Oh, Blazers on 16. I thought that was 16, but still taking another drop, so maybe it was less than that. But yeah, runners get used to kind of where your pearls are going to be in your inventory, so you can just look at that one like place in your inventory. Okay, 15 rounds there. So we're gonna see a leave here. Um, but yeah, it's 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 a skill for sure.
Mhm. There we go. Good second attempt on that and gets the
Yeah, you have
the
to
items
when
from
you
spawn.
do spawn protection, bed exit, you have to do uh die once and then fall down, and the second time you won't die.
Mhm.
And we're gonna
And
see
since Alex is playing 1/8.
Yeah, we're gonna see Zen Tower. We have not seen very. I haven't seen. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen Zen. I think the last time I saw Zen Tower was probably Alex's last tourney match. Um,
I think Alex is our only player that really played with Zen Tower. Maybe one other person ended up
yeah,
playing 1/8.
I think it was Toast. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was Toast who um was kind of switching back and forth between 1.7 and 1.8, but then kind of finally settled on 1.7. And so ever since he kind of switched, we've I think Alex is now our only runner.
Chat's saying it's mime. I believe that.
That sounds like
That
something
sounds right.
Mime would do. But no, it was someone running in pre-19 turning 2 that was using 1.8, going back and forth, and then finally settled on 1.7. I can't remember.
Yeah. I think that mime, I recall being sort of back and forth about whether or not he wanted to play 1/7 or 1/8, knowing that 1/7 tends to be regarded as faster, but being more comfortable with 1/8.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing is that in RSG it's so different with trading strats and stuff. you see more people play 1-8, but when you're playing a purely tower tournament, 1-7, especially when you have things that you have 1-7 uh end towers and stuff, it's kind of nicer to be in 1-7. Also, Alex mod pack, the sky is that's such a nice. I
It's
feel like
really pretty.
this is something like a high pixel player, like Bed Wars player mod pack looks like.
I think I've seen this exact sunset on like 6 people's Instagram stories.
True.
No, but jokes aside, we see the dig down from Alex here. So, pretty clearly behind, but I don't know. I'm a firm believer if it's not over till it's over for every match because we've seen things come down in the final hour.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Pretty flower forest. I'm a fan.
God, start a
This is my
survival
flower
world,
garden.
Blazer.
Just earlier in the match, you had asked me how big is my garden to be able to hand out bouquets to everyone. That's my flower garden.
Oh my god.
I know it's only apt.
Um, yeah, especially what you were mentioning about it's not over till it's over, especially this version. The end fight is so hard, and so many
Yeah.
things can go wrong.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't want to like curse misfortune upon anyone because I know that being in that situation where you're right at the end and something terrible happens to you is just absolutely devastating. But I don't want to make any calls about, well, this is looking like a surefire win for Serious Dedication. All I can say is that, they're very clearly ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Alex, still on tower. Um, only really just getting started. Hasn't gotten too many Endermen yet. And Blazer should be getting close to the stronghold here. They've been running for quite a ways. So, oh yeah, digging down right here. Okay.
So, nice dig here in the desert. Lots of sandstone.
Hmm. Yeah, and the nice thing too about this dig down, we're seeing Blazers has everything pre-crafted. So once they get into the portal room, they'll be able to just enter end. Looks like it's a 2i.
Either way,
Yeah, 2.
plenty wise, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty comfortable. No problems with breaks or anything. And got the pre-crafted bed, so should be able to make an enter shortly.
Oh yeah, it
Oops,
just
got
has to craft
arrows.
bow and arrows.
Yeah.
Is entering here with 15 arrows and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 beds. Um, that's very comfortable. Uh, enter.
Hopefully there's not a lot of towers, but yeah, like you
Mm-hmm.
said.
Yeah, I mean, 15 arrows, it's not like a ton. Getting an insta charge right there, very nice. Um, pretty good damage, really nice. And getting another charge, oh my god, that was really fast. Holy.
Wow.
Dragon already at
And
half health.
really good bed damage on both of those hits. So
Mm-hmm.
well played by Blazer there, really taking advantage of those charges.
But yeah, what I was saying, 15 arrows, it's not, super casual, comfortable. I can do whatever I want with the arrows, but it's still plenty to get this end fight done, especially with 7 beds. Um, Another charge, very good damage on that charge. And we should be able to see this could be like very. This is an insane end fight
Right,
so
it's a
far.
incredibly impressive end fight and getting close to those towers. There are, a notable number of towers, but they don't seem absurdly high or absurdly far. So,
Yeah, no, this end isn't too mean.
yeah. So, they are able to handle it pretty well and that
Nice damage.
that
Should be
feels
able to
pretty
finish
good as
this off
well.
with one more charge as long as you get it. Gets a charge right
And
here
should get it.
and finishes off the dragon with that final bed. Wow, that was a very clean, very nice end fight from Blazer. That does put
Yeah.
serious dedication taking the win here on this match.
Yeah, with I mean, honestly, just a fantastic and fight played by Blazer there. Unfortunately, that does mean that we are going to be seeing the Juice leave us today. Um, and we will hopefully be getting them here in the booth shortly.
Yeah, we'll
See if
just
they're
jump over to an interview here. And we're just waiting on the other team to join us. Hello, runners. Hi, congratulations on taking the win on that match. You guys played that very well, very clean runs from all of you. Um, and I'm Oh wait, hang on. Just give me one moment. I don't know. My freaking thing is didn't fix the Discord issues, sound issues on this scene. Okay. We should be good. They should be able to hear you now.
Okay, are we good now?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and repeat the question for audience. Had said, well, we'll start with 114. So that seed was pretty straightforward, seemed pretty friendly. Was there anything in particular you guys wanted to talk about that, Alex or Ready Van?
I think
Uh,
the other seed was nice. I think I just threw it
Mm-hmm.
pretty bad. I didn't buttcraft for some reason, so I accidentally made 2 stacks of buttons, which is really cool. That's bad usually.
Yeah, you ended up losing a fair bit of time to the miscraft with the buttons there. And on the other hand, Ready Van had a pretty clean run. I think it was 26.5 minutes.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, my only issue with the seed was that I didn't get Flint. That was the only
Mhm.
thing. And I don't know, slow mechanics, but I can't change that, unfortunately.
Yeah, you guys also went to different lava pools, I believe. Alex's was slightly further, but not seriously, because I think the bigger issue ended up being that, Ready Van's lava pool put your end or your exit right next to the dark oak, so your exits ended up sort of neutralizing and you guys ended up on similar pace. So that takes us to the end of that run, and series dedication is about 2 minutes ahead, and we enter 116. How were you guys feeling about that seed, Ben, Blazer?
I didn't play 116.
Oh, you're right, Ben and Oscar. My mistake.
Yeah, that seed was very good.
Mhm.
I think I did like I 10 something. I think I don't know. So yeah, I really like the seed. Like the fast team was really cool with a very close spawner, and yeah, really good seed. Yeah, and I also like did the educated. I mean the calculating in the stall, which was very nice. So yeah.
And Ben?
Differing opinions. No other way to put it, really. Yeah, nice seed. Pretty nice seed. I like the red carpet towards Bastion. That was a nice touch. Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't play it fast. No other way of really saying it.
Yeah, I think maybe one of the bigger issues is that was there no triple? Nat had pointed that out to us, I think.
I didn't. I don't properly
No,
remember.
there was no triple.
Yeah.
So you guys both had issues with Obsidian, right?
Yeah. 'Cause when you go to it, it
Um,
looks half like housing, and then you realize no.
mhm. Yeah. And unfortunately, Alex with a Y could not be here with us today. But actually, this time, Blazer, how are you feeling about that 1-7 seed?
The seed was good, but the stronghold was pretty far.
Hmm.
And the only thing that is what was difficult for me was the blaze fight. The blaze can't stop spawning.
Yeah.
And the raids was pretty good. That's
Was
all.
there
And
any
the
of
end fight,
those-
bueno.
That end
Yeah,
fight
your
was
end fight
amazing. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That was a pristine end fight. Your bed damages were incredible. Yeah, we unfortunately didn't get to see Alex get past the tower, but I think still well played on both ends. Was there anything that you wanted to ask the runners, Nat?
No, I think you pretty much covered it. I mean, very clean run. Yeah, I mean, a little bit of issues, but overall, I feel like everyone played quite well, and it was a really fun match to watch. GG's to Serious Dedication. But I mean, yeah, both teams, you guys played awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this match sort of lived up to my expectations. I think you guys are both really great teams, and I was excited to see you play. And no serious chokes coming out, and it just sort of ended up the way it was. So well done to both of you, and I think we'll be sorry to see the juice go today, but it was a pleasure to have you guys in the event.
Oh, thank you for having
yeah,
us.
thank you.
GG's to Serious Dedication. You guys
Yeah, GG's.
deserved it. Good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yeah,
thank you.
GG's.
GG's.